Acknowledgments. Usually whenever someone accomplishes anything, there are others who have inspired and supported them. I would like to begin by thanking my wife, Connie, for traveling with me and assisting in the research of this book. I would also like to thank her and my brother Winston, who was my best critics during the many rewrites of the manuscript. I would like to thank them for their editorial assistance, along with Joy Hamilton and Christine Walls. I would also like to acknowledge the following: Reverend Curtis Scott, my pastor at the historic First Baptist Church of Puce, and his wife Pamela for their spiritual support and their prayers. Dr. Brad Walls, nephew, brother, and chiropractor, who, when I would read some of the scenes from the book to him, encouraged me to continue telling the story of William Perry in a fun and educational way. Maria Carter, my niece who supplied many of the family photographs for the book, and my brother Irvin, sister-in-law Teresa, brother Larry, and sister-in-law Marilyn for their moral support. My niece Lene and nephew Kamal Kirby and Cosmic Twins Productions for always supporting my writing. They have produced an album based on our children's book, The Adventures of Spike and Spencer. My spiritual brother Carl Baker, or CB as I call him, a retired engineer from Ford Motor Company, and his wife Lynn and family for just being my friend, and to my cousins in Ypsilanti, the Walls and Bass families, along with all the relatives of William and Melinda Perry. Dr. Howard McCurdy, retired scientist, university professor, and former member of the Canadian Parliament, for reminding me how important it is that this story be told. Cuman Hahn, a cooperative education student from the Greater Essex County District School Board, for her artwork, and to co-op teacher Mrs. Tracy Mitchell Robinette for suggesting I involve Cuman in this project. I would particularly like to thank the following staff members of the Benson Ford Research Center at the Henry Ford Museum in Greenfield Village. They were so helpful and kind when my wife and I did research at their wonderful facilities. Kathy L. Steiner, Head of Access Services, Carol Whitaker, Reference Archivist, Kira Masita, Reading Room Assistant. Special thanks to Jim Orr, Image Services Specialist. His patience in providing the photos for the book was greatly appreciated. Also, Terry Hoover, the archivist whose excellent archival material completed my research. I must also thank the following, who were very important in many different ways: Dale Horton, high school teacher, for all his help with the photos; Mary Mass, AMCT Clerk of Records for the town of Lakeshore in Ontario, Canada; Ronnie Miner, Archivist for Special Collections for the E. Azealia Hackley Collection and the Burton Historical Collection at the Detroit Public Library; Dave Butler, Editor and Publisher for the Detroit News. Thanks to Dan DeSense II, Sales Manager at the Woodmere Cemetery in Detroit, for assisting me in finding the final resting place of my Uncle William Perry. Dr. Arthur M. Carter, Superintendent of Schools, Highland Park Board of Education, and Archivist for the Second Baptist Church in Detroit, where William Perry was a member. Thanks to the Perez family, the present owners of William and Melinda Perry's former home on Pearl Street, and especially Sabino Perez for allowing me to take photos of the house to include in Timberland. I must remember my children and grandchildren, who always seem to support whatever I do and love me even when I disappear sometimes while I write. Thanks to our dog Spike for giving up some of his ball playing time, and to our cat Spencer, who didn't mind when he had to share my lap with the computer. Finally, I must thank my great-uncle William Perry and Henry Ford, whose presence I could sometimes feel while I would be writing. Their friendship benefited so many people and affected their lives in such a positive way. I'm happy and honored to be able to share their friendship with the rest of the world through my book, Timberland, the story of William Perry, the man who saved the life of Henry Ford, founder of the Ford Motor Company.